What is going on, everybody? We are back. Hope you guys are having to go into the 9, 7 to 10 hand. That's the case, but hey, gotta keep on thriving. You gotta keep on striving. You gotta keep on living. I know I botched that anyway. Let's get into it. So, it has been a wild few weeks. We went to Milan, we went to Nice, we went to Monaco, all in a weekend, and that's part of the reason why I wasn't able to post for this last week upcoming. But there was so much that happened, and it was honestly for the better. It really was. So we're gonna dive into a few things because obviously with the title, we've had some pretty significant wins. We have some amazing wins actually. We hit 1,000 in commissions for the month. Now that was something. If we were to date back all the way from last year when I started this, when I was out in Kuwait trying to make random calls to people for a lead generation company, I never in a million years would I have thought that I'd actually hit 1K. And it's such a humbling thing because I know years down the line from now, I'm gonna look at that and be like, dude, that's literally my gas bill for the boat. That's how I see it, right? So that's what's so exciting about it, is the fact that we were able to hit that and truly show to ourselves, like, look, we can pull this off, we can do this. And to show it to my family, show it to everybody else back home that might not have understood what I was doing, but then now they understand it. It's an incredible thing, I feel like you get put into these situations for a reason. You really do. You get put into these situations to truly see if you have what it takes, to see if it's something that you're willing to put the work in. And I've talked to other people about it. And they've told me, some of the people that I know that I regularly work with, like on a regular basis, military stuff. I'm just like, look, man, like, you've seen what I've been doing, right? And if you want to learn, I'll help you. I'll help you find a way. It's just, the whole idea of you don't bring sand to the beach. That is the number one reason why not a lot of people do this, because they don't understand what's on the other side, so they'll never try it. It's an interesting thing, man. And not to mention, right, with that being said, I actually had to use that line on someone and ended up closing them for it. Just because of the fact that naturally when you talk to people, especially in a closing role, you're really, those objections that they're having, it doesn't mean that they don't want to join. It just means that that's the one thing that's stopping them from actually doing it. And once they realize that that shouldn't be the case, they can finally get to that end result that they're looking for. And it is just a blessing. It really is. And not to mention, we are on track for a pretty nice month in March. So I can't wait to see the overall goal by the end of that, and to give you guys an update on that, on how much we've been able to generate and all the closes we've been able to do. And like I said, at the end of the day, these conversations that I have with people, it really reflects on the type of person you are. When you hop into a sales call, when you hop into a closing call or a cold call, you can naturally see what type of person you are right from the jump of the call. That's what's so interesting, right? So naturally for myself, I still see myself very timid. I see myself very in a permissive sort of stance where I'm asking for permission. I'm not, truly, like, conviction's there. Don't get me wrong, it's there, but it's just the fact of, when they give me objection, I naturally feel some type of way, or I get lost in the sauce of trying to get into discovery and trying to understand it 100% and then be able to tie it all back into a pitch and then a pitch to a close. So it's interesting how you have to navigate that. But at the end of the day too, the people that you talk to are truly incredible, just because of the fact that the people that you talk to naturally have a whole different lifestyle that you are not living, that they're trying to make it out of their lifestyle and they're trying to do something better. And that's part of it. That's part of the whole thing that just makes it so interesting, because you are the person that could potentially help them get to that goal that they're looking for, right? It's an incredible thing to see happen in fruition, right? So there's a lot of stuff coming up this new month, this new year, right? So we're going to talk specifically also about mindset. I know that's been something we talked about in the past, but I mean, you can really talk about mindset for any other occasion. But the one thing for sure is I have a ceremony that I have to go to back in the States. Now, military paycheck, it's fairly well, like, it's not too bad, but at the same time, as an airman, if you're traveling all over the world, you're doing it consecutively every single weekend, there's really a problem, because where's that money coming from, right? So that was my mindset when I had to decide, okay, am I going to go to the ceremony? Because the ceremony is probably going to be $1,000 just to fly back home, especially in May. And naturally, that's a lot of money just to put out. But there's something in my mind while I was doing sales, and it told me this. It was like, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. We can buy our money back. We can get that money back. And that's exactly what happened. Another thing too is, I ended up looking at the flights, and the flights are super expensive, and I was like, oh my God, I only get like about a few thousand, so each paycheck I usually get is around like $2, right? And so that's not to mention paying for the rent. And so I'm sitting with a certain amount, and I'm just like if I drop 1,000, that's literally my entire spending, like almost gone, right? So there's something inside being a closer, inside sales, that truly makes you believe, like, look, we can make money whenever we can. Like, if we need to make money, we're gonna have somebody pay for something, basically. That's what's insane about it. So that's exactly what happened. I bought the tickets. I didn't think about it twice. I did actually, but and lo and behold, we started hopping on sales calls, and then we started closing deals, and I was like, oh, look, I just made that money back in just a few days. I just made $1,000 back in just 2 or 3 days. It's crazy. And there was one thing for sure is, and hopefully this could relate to you guys. At the end of the day, the person you want to become, naturally, you have to look at your habits on what you're doing daily and see if there's certain things obviously getting in the way of that. So I'll give you an example, right? I'm on the phone with people about a decision that they're about to make that's huge, spending, a certain amount of money just on a program, right? And for some reason, obviously we have those times where naturally somebody has to think about it, or they just completely are convinced. And in your mind, a lot of times you're like, what went wrong, all this stuff. But naturally, if your habits, even on the outside, aren't lining up to the person you are trying to be on the phone, it's hard. It's hard to truly be convicted, have conviction, right? Because say in my sense, right, if I'm terrible at making decisions and I spend hours just to figure out something that's huge for myself, how can I expect a client to automatically make a 4-figure decision right on the call? So that's part of the reason why you need to start checking your own habits that you're doing and seeing if if they're actually aligning to what you're doing right now, right? If they're actually supposed to be there. Because that's when I started thinking, when I was looking at the tickets to fly back home, I was like, I spent literally like a day thinking about it, and then another day. And then when I was like, dude, I'm hopping on calls with people about this same sort of scenario. They're making the purchasing decision, and I need to think about it. No, I need to make action. I need to take action. I need to do it. Because at the end of the day, if I keep on dancing around, I'm never going to get anywhere. That is the key. That is the thing that I realized the most. I was like, I'm such a hypocrite. Why? So that's the big decision that I made. And then not to mention, I already have another trip that I have planned out for an entire month, being in Spain, which it just sounds incredible. Like, it doesn't sound real. Like, anyway, being in Spain, and I have to live out there. I have to do, save money, build up. And not to mention, I'm getting out in November. So I have to save up money. Where am I saving up the money, right? So that's part of it. You have to start making money. The other thing too is it's part-time. This is a part-time gig. And even then, part-time gig is making almost close to what I get military paycheck. We're gonna on that. Because they will not like that. But anyway, that's why I don't bring up facts and figures and numbers too much, even though I kind of did on the title, but that's 1,000 Monopoly dollars. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, aside from that, that's exactly what's been going on. It's been an incredible ride. And like I said, you guys aren't going to watch this right now. The people that I post maybe a day from now or 2 days from now, none of y'all are going to watch it, the people that follow me. And I get that. Because you guys don't see it yet. But you guys will. And once you see it, once you start seeing a lot of things roll in, it'd be like, oh man, he actually made sense. And then you're going to start binge watching. Then you're going to follow all the other contents. And then you're going to start seeing the actual road. That's why I'm making these videos now. I'm making these videos because at the end of the day, when we're 4 years down the line and I'm trying to do something big and I'm trying to help other people, you are going to want to see where he started. If you were to look back to one of my recent old videos, I literally brought up I only had $200 in my bank account right now. I was that honest on the call, on the video, to then show in 4 years where I'll be at. So that's why we're making these videos, because naturally I know nobody's gonna watch it, but at the same time I know people will watch it. Yeah, so aside from that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hope absolutely everything you get, everything you achieve is for a good reason, and it's for the act of God himself. And truly, if you can naturally leave this video with one thing, provide value to one person every day. Provide value to one person every day, and I promise you, if you think in the mindset where you're like, well, I'm always doing good by your side, I'm always doing good to make sure at the end of the day that that energy, that goodness that I end up getting out of what I do will replicate, and I will be rewarded in the future. I'm not looking for eagerness, I'm not looking for bitterness, I'm not looking for right now, but I know if I act like a decent human being, and I am a decent human being, and I truly act from a great intention, from a great standing point in regards to helping people, I know naturally that will always come back. But aside from that, the top of the world where battery still don't exist, the bottom of the desert life still lives. Do you dare to dream? As a matter of fact, do you dare to take the next step? I'll see y'all later.